Now, a News 2 I-Team investigation.
Several people in Mount Pleasant contacted the I-Team after SCE&G started trimming trees near power lines. Customers are upset that the service was performed without notice, and they're not happy with the finished product. So we sent News 2's consumer investigator, Libba Holland, to look into it.
It's a magnolia tree. It's a quintessential southern tree.
Edward Scheimer's house has been standing in this spot since 1860. Any guesses, so has the tree.
As you can see, this house is kind of built around that tree.
He bought the house a few years ago, and he says in the time he's been here, he's watched this tree change. Man-made changes.
2 years ago, I was out of town traveling. My wife's at her shop, and we get a call from a neighbor sending pictures, and they're out here butchering that tree. This tree originally was completely full.
He says he didn't receive any notice.
My wife Zooms over here. She's in tears. They won't stop.
He says contractors through SCE&G were trimming the trees around the power lines.
You know, what was done was done.
A few weeks ago, he says it happened again.
Once again, she's sending pictures and they're butchering it. I mean, they actually came on the property. If you looked at it, I think they cut branches that had nothing to do with those power lines.
You can see where they took and just chopped the branches back.
Lee Rowe has a similar story with her 2 pear trees.
The tree guys showed up and, as you can see, just kind of chopped down the middle of it.
She says she also didn't receive any notice from SCE&G.
So nobody tells you what they're going to do. They just show up and do it. I don't think the trees are even going to make it at this point.
I reached out to SCE&G. A representative says postcards or emails were sent to customers on February 24th, before the trimming began. There was also a workshop showing the areas that would be affected. This civic alert from the town of Mount Pleasant explains SCE&G would be pruning trees this year. It lists the streets where the pruning would occur, but not the dates it would be happening.
They just come in with chainsaws, cut big V's in trees, and leave.
Town Council member Joe Bustos thinks it may be time for the town to step in.
In the older part of town where we are so proud of our trees, and they're just being torn apart, I think it's important that we look at that and we start putting something in our regulations that SCE&G has to subscribe to.
SCE&G says that it is very important that they trim the trees away from the power lines. Those power lines can be very dangerous. I reached out to the contractor who performed the service, Lewis Tree Service out of Walterboro. A representative passed along a statement that says that the crew members follow national pruning standards and work hard to ensure the health and longevity of the trees. Now, I looked deeper into the proper way to cut trees away from power lines. I've posted that information, including before and after photos, on our website, counton2.com. In the studio tonight, Libba Holland, News 2.
Libba, thank you. If you have something you want the I-Team to investigate, email us at iteam@WCBD.com. You can also call the I-Team hotline, 843-216-49